Taurus, welcome to your horoscope. It's the Pisces new moon. It's happening on the 20th of February at 6 past 6 p.m. if you're in the southern hemisphere with me. And I gotta say, it's really going to pack the most beautiful, magical punch for us. This is one of the best moons of the year to make your magical dreams come true. And I think that this one is going to be especially pertinent for you, Taurus, because it deals with your 11th house. So on your birth chart, if you're a Taurus rising, Pisces for you is it rules your 11th house, which is where we think about humanity itself, where we think about the greater human condition and the culture of the human being. It's quite broad, and I think it's probably a really great house to be making magical wishes in right now. Wouldn't you agree? I think what we can do is we can focus in on, God, I've been so scatterbrained for these readings. I was on a really good wicket when I did the water signs, and now I've just turned into jelly. Forgive me, Taurus. What I'm trying to say is that probably, and I've been saying it quite a lot, is that there are so many things for us to be concerned about at the moment. There are so many worries and so many examples of the tyranny of the human being, of viciousness and hatred and cruelty and oppression. And it seems to be sort of ebbing and flowing in greater volume as time goes on. I want you to know that as far as the astrology goes, things are about to change, and they're about to change in really beautiful ways. They're about to move. There are going to be moments of redemption. There are going to be moments of clearing and of clarity. It's not going to be the way that it was before. We will not make anything great again that was not great. I'll put it that way. And what I see at this moon is an opportunity for you to really believe in the mystical parts of yourself. If you think about Pisces and its relationship to cosmic psychic phenomena and magic and the sort of depth of feeling, all of those mermaid qualities, is probably a nice way to think about it, Taurus. Your mermaid lies in the town square, in the community. This is community activation. This is your sense of the humanitarian is very intuitive. And I think that I kind of want to wrap you in like an extra special blanket of support, because what I do know of Pisces is that there is a compulsion to try and numb out because the feeling can be too intense. And so when we're living through a period of time that does feel so divisive, as much as it feels progressive. Now I'm going to say this too. I don't spend very much time outside. Well, I do spend lots of time outside. I don't spend very much time in community anymore. I used to be very active in that space. The pandemic had its lessons for me and I'm working through them. But I did last weekend set up a tarot tent in a street party environment. I was invited along by the programmer to bring my work into a communal space. It was the Victoria Pride street party. So it was a moment of community celebration after our Pride March here a week ago. And by being just sitting amidst that kind of energy filled me up with electricity that I didn't know existed. And I remembered how vital the public space is for our well-being and our happiness. I think when there's so much time spent, I think doom scrolling is probably a way to minimize, and I don't want to do that. Obviously that is a compulsive thing when you're just sort of reading bad news after bad news, but I don't wish to cut away any of the integrity of the seriousness of what is playing out across the world at the moment. Natural disasters and otherwise. There is a lot of pain. There is a lot of continual abuse that is occurring. But back to what I was saying, on the flip side of the detriments of the human species are the blindingly beautiful elements of the human species and the brilliance of what community can achieve when they come together, in integrity and come together in a space of standing up for one another, recognizing each other, honoring our identities, our presence, our joy, our love. It was important for me to throw in there because I'm learning things about myself too, Taurus, as we go along with this astrology, more and more and more and more. And I'm learning what I need to maintain and to keep going. And part of that is a sense of community. As much as I would be a happy little hermit on a mountaintop with a pointy hat and a broomstick, maybe I can save that for when I'm a little older. But the idea of coming in to community, coming into groups of people that I love and admire, catching up with folks that I have not seen for a very long time, and coming into a lovely feeling of understanding that that's okay, that boundaries are understood and healing is honored and recognized, that's also really beautiful too. So at this Pisces new moon, I want you to wish for that. I want you to use your magic, and you can start in your local friendship circles. You can start with what bridges you wish to heal, what avenues you wish to sow a pathway back to. And then you can expand and you can start to cast your net wider and think about what the human species itself needs and what magic you can cast and create to help us all. Yeah. Let's get some cards on the table, shall we, Taurus? So there's a little bit of tension, but you know what? Like, we can work with it for sure. We know that Uranus is still in your first house, so that revolution is brewing in you, in your soul's purpose. We know this is coming. We know that it's for great cause. We know that things will not be as they were, that there will be a rising up. And you can feel that in your very essence. Right now, Uranus is squaring Mercury at 12 degrees in Aquarius. So it will be okay, but it's sort of like, it does feel like a sort of battle of the minds. So for you, this is your career, your most public self, how you're visibly, publicly perceived. There's a sort of toing and froing between this rebel that's inside of you and perhaps the, I guess what you need to do to sort of keep it together in the public sphere, what you need to, God, how do I say this without sounding like an asshole? Look, Mercury moves really quickly, and I think that it might actually just be a nice moment of you being able to stand up for the revolution, going over it in your mind and thinking, okay, well, look, this is, there is conflict here, and it's sort of like, well, this is this version of the truth. What do I align myself with? Am I going to align my principles with this, or am I going to align my principles with this? I know in my deepest self that the revolution is coming, and I know how that's going to play out, and I know who to listen to. I know to follow that information as opposed to what's being presented elsewhere. Sorry, I'm trying to get my head around this, but I think that's kind of, that might be the pressure there. Mercury is also trining Mars in Gemini, which is your second house of your values. Okay, here we go. I'm going to sew it in. Sorry for being such a hippy-dippy, Taurus. Mercury is in square with Uranus, the rebel, the revolutionary in your soul. They're they're supporting Mars in Gemini in your second house, which is your value system. So this anger, this quick to fiery anger that we've been feeling with Mars in Gemini is being aided by Mercury's intel. So maybe there's something kind of like, if you think about like your legacy and the info that's coming through you through that space, that's cooling off some of this fire, that's helping it along, supporting it in your values. So if you've been feeling out of alignment, perhaps with your truer values, then this support is here for you at this moon. I hope, I'm going to stop apologizing, but these are a bit abstract. But hey, it's Pisces season. Let's get some cards on the table and I'll cut the crap with the zodiac talk. All right. Oh my God. I don't know how many times I shuffle these cards and I don't know what to tell you, but these two cards keep on coming out for every, I don't know if it's, what am I doing with my hands? Like, I'll explain in a minute. Okay. All right. So I got the Ace of Swords and I got the Queen of Wands in reverse. And then I got the Six of Swords in reverse and I got the Fool. These cards, I'm shivering now. God, I hope I don't have to re-record these. Stick with me, Taurus. So the Ace of Swords in reverse is not the truth. It's the opposite of that. It's a sort of falsehood statement. It's a lie. And the Queen of Wands is in reverse. So this is someone who is actually quite manipulative, and this is someone who is really probably a bit insecure and is kind of really, let's face it, barking up the wrong tree. They've got all of this like pomp and ceremony and they're sort of really bombastic and they're charging ahead with something that they're really involved with in their ego, and it's not the truth. They've got it wrong. And so don't go there. You know, this Six of Swords in reverse is sort of like there's this one pathway that's been presenting itself to you. It's not the truth. You don't want this. You know what you want. Uranus has been working with you for 2 years now. The revolution is coming and you know how that's going to come. You feel it in your very essence. Taurus doesn't move quickly. Taurus is not compulsive. Taurus is staid and gentle and pleasure-loving. Taurus has patience in spades. Taurus knows what it takes to build a garden. They don't need this aggressive bullshitting. You know, this is not the truth. Whatever this is not the truth. The Fool has nothing to hide and they've got no fear. They're going to step into this brave new world with their integrity intact and with no violence and with a freedom. There's a happiness here with the Fool. Also, when you think about it, some folks relate Uranus to the Fool. So there you go. This is all melting away. Whatever I'm holding in my hand here, this Queen of Wands who is in reverse, so who's just bullshitting, who's just really in it for themselves and their ego. It's got nothing to do with the actual truth that they're sort of espousing. This is wrong. This is where you need to go. Remember that Uranus has been in your first house. If you're a Taurus rising, then it's sort of sitting in your first house. It's been there for ages. And so you know that things have to change. You know that they will. You have faith that they will. You can see it happening. You know how to activate this. You can feel kind of like relaxed about it. Well, no, not really. But you know, you can trust Uranus. Yeah, you can trust the Fool. This is a brave new, this is the cosmic egg, the zero, the beginning and the end of the tarot. This is starting again. This is an opportunity that we get to start again. We can't go back and erase the past, but we can definitely move forward into a beautiful new way of being that is compassionate and loving and caring and respectful, that has nothing to do with ego, nothing to do with threats of violence, nothing to do with lies. Gee whiz, I don't know, Taurus, you tell me. Holy rockamole. That's all from me. Love you heaps. You can get your birth chart read by me at umaruby.com. Go to the readings page, and if you're unsure of which one to pick the spirit reading. It's the one that has had the most beautiful effect with my clients. It's been really one that I'm really happy with the way that is written. The other ones are really great as well, but to sort of get to the nuts and bolts of your rising sign, the spirit reading is the one to do. Also, you can tip me at buymeacoffee.com/umaruby. You can also sign up to my newsletter at my website. So just go to umaruby.com and there's a tab there you can sign up. What else do I need to say? I think that's it. I hope that made sense. Holy bejesus. I am just like, I can't even see. I'm just like, today, I'm sober as a judge, but I feel like I'm ranting like a crazy person, and I hope that I'm not. I love you very much, Taurus, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for the full moon in Virgo, hopefully with a bit more grounding. Okay, bye.